So I lived with my grandparents and my dad. My parents were divorced. My mom for a while was not involved much in my life. I went to high school. I made pretty decent grades. Just enjoyed life for the most part. And then, at 15, I got pregnant with my son Xavier, my sophomore year of high school. So I was scared more than anything, just trying to figure out who's going to react, who's going to support me. Most everybody I told was pretty disappointed, pretty sad just from the way I grew up. Everybody just hoped I wouldn't end up like my parents because my parents had me at 18 and 19. And once everything kind of settled down, we had the conversation of me raising my son. I had the option to continue living where I was, or if I decided to keep my son, then I had to find another place to live. My mom's was not a good idea, and I really had nowhere else to go. I was very confused and very upsetting just to think of just the possibility of having to give my child up for adoption and having that fear of never being able to see my child again. It was very, very hard and a very tough decision to determine if I was essentially going to give up my life to raise my child or not. My family and I ended up looking for homeless shelters, just different places that I could potentially go, and just through our searching, we ended up finding Mother's Refuge. My first day here was really rough, very, very scary. I've really never been away from my family. They've been very protective over me, and just kind of stepping out and being on my own, but I worked through it, and even some of the other girls that were living here at the time came and supported me through that time and got through it, and it got easier as every day passed. Xavier was born September 26th of 2014. Being 16 and pregnant is not easy on its own. Being 16 and pregnant, living in a totally different place and not knowing anybody was rough too, but they all sat here and they helped me get through each night, encouraged me to continue my education, and so I continued to go to high school my junior year here while raising my son, essentially by myself. It felt great once I did graduate. It was really tough when Xavier was 6 weeks old and I went back to public school. I was waking up at 5 a.m. every day after being up half the night with the newborn, and me and my son got on the school bus. We went to school. When I first came to Mother's Refuge, I was very quiet, very reserved. I lacked self-confidence, just feeling like I failed my child from the beginning because I was so young, and I couldn't provide for myself at that time. When I left Mother's Refuge, I had good grades. I was still going to school. I felt like a great mom because my child was healthy, he was safe, and I had all those tools and resources on how to be a loving and caring mother to my son. They all helped me learn that I can do it on my own. They helped my confidence grow in myself and as a parent, and as well as how to take care of myself and gain that confidence to be able to do it on my own. Today, I have grown through Mother's Refuge to love my faith as well. I really do believe God led me to Mother's Refuge. Before Mother's Refuge, I knew who God was, but I really wasn't searching for him. I was actually baptized while I was at Mother's Refuge, and came to just know God more than I had ever done before, and he's continued to lead me where he wants. Well, when I was 19, I got pregnant with my daughter, Nova. She just recently turned 5. I recently became a manager at U-Haul in Lawrence. My boyfriend and I, which is Nova's dad, he and I bought a home earlier this year, so we've been making that home for us and our family, and just enjoying life the most that we can and raising our children. So, do you know who that is?
Let's see.
Miss Susan?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Novi. Susan was a volunteer when I first started. She became a house parent shortly after, and my daughter Nova, her middle name is Susan after her because she was such a role model to me. I've talked to many people about Mother's Refuge and how it has impacted my life. It's a place that you can be supported, loved, you can grow and learn to cherish every moment of life through every hard part, every good part, and know that you have many people behind you in those tough times of raising a child and finding out who you are as a mom and as just a human.